What's up, everybody? Alex here. Welcome back to another video. Thanks for stopping by, dropping by, returning, all good things. How about a long overdue concert review? I'll be honest, this was a concert from about a month ago that I kind of was like, at this point, is it even worth it? But I kept thinking about it. I was like, you know what? Yeah, it's always worth it because I love this band and I loved this concert. And if you know me and what I typically listen to, this might be a band that's a little bit outside of those sort of typical classic rock, hard rock, prog rock, all that type of stuff. It's a little more modern. It's a little bit more indie. It's a little bit more alternative, a little bit more folky. We'll see. I will say, before I dive into it, I still can't, if you're listening out there, I still can't believe Sam St. John is not into this band. Sam, this is your kind of band, man. Get into it. Anyway, who am I talking about? I am talking about Band of Horses. All right, so Band of Horses, Seattle band started by Ben Bridwell, who's kind of been the only, he's kind of Band of Horses. There's been obviously some really important people that I'll talk about, but he is the only remaining original member, lead songwriter, lead singer, plays guitar, plays lap steel, I think, and is sort of responsible for the overall sound. So they started in the mid 2000s, I believe 2004. This was their debut. Everything, All the Time. Came out in 2006. This is a great record. They're on Sub Pop, like all good indie bands out of Seattle. You probably, I went into a little bit in the beginning. Band of Horses, they are, yes, very indie sounding, alternative, great harmonies. Kind of folky. I'll get into some stuff, definitely some Americana pieces here. Ben has a very high pitched, sort of like almost scratchy type voice that just lends itself really well to the style of music they're playing. Great harmonies, just great songwriting overall. But again, this was their debut. Great debut from 2006. You would probably know Band of Horses because you are familiar with their huge hit that came off this record, The Funeral. That's a song that's still played on sort of like, I don't know how many alternative rock radio stations are out there, but that was a huge song that was played everywhere. And it's a great song, but it sort of has positioned them as, I don't want to say a one-hit wonder, but there's a lot of people who know them simply because of that song, where there's just a ton of other great tunes in their collection. So, again, this came out in 2006. Their second record came out a couple years later. This is called Seas to Begin here. Another great record. This had another pretty strong single on it called No One's Gonna Love You. Was not as big as The Funeral was, but a pretty big song. But Is There a Ghost kicks it off. Great song. Ode to LRC is a great song. Detlef Schrempf, you got to know that 90s NBA basketball to know that reference. The General Specific, which I believe is going to be the song that plays sort of on the outro or played in the intro, depending on how I do this video. But again, another great record. Their third record, I actually don't have. It's called Open Arms, I believe. Let me, am I messing that up? Infinite Arms. That came out in 2010. I do not have that and I need it because it might be my favorite. But this is where it all sort of came together. Had another cat out there, Tyler Ramsey, joined the band. He has since left, off doing his own solo stuff, which is really strong, good folky Americana alternative rock stuff. And then Ryan Monroe, who is still in the band, but he is kind of keyboard, organ, guitar, he's like the musician in the band, right? Ben's writing the songs, but Ryan Monroe is the musician in the band that's in charge of all the textures and kind of pulling it all together. He's still in the band. But Infinite Arms rolls around, a great record. They start touring all over the place. And it was a little bit later, I don't know if it was on that tour, but to me, what really got me into Band of Horses, and to me, if you're interested in this band, you do, I think, to me, you start with the live album. And to me, the one that blew me away that I heard first was Acoustic at the Ryman. This came out in 2013 or 14, I believe. Just a single LP here. This has actually become quite a valuable collectible. I don't know, whatever that means. I don't think it's a $500 record or anything like that, but it goes in and out of print all the time. Sometimes it shows back up, then goes away again, all that type of stuff. But this is amazing. This is them folksy. This is them Americana again, Sam. Like, if you are coming from that sort of folky indie Americana fan base sort of side, this is where I would start. Incredible harmonies, again, great songwriting, all acoustic, of course, at the Ryman in Nashville. Outstanding. Now, here's what I did not know is that when I was actually at the show, I learned, holy crap, they came out with Live at the Ryman, Acoustic at the Ryman, Volume 2. So this just got released, I believe, earlier this year, and I think it's only available directly through them. So I got out their merch table at the show from a month ago, but this is the rest of the set. Great stuff, nice little gatefold here of the guys. Looking awesome, looking cool. Yeah, this is the other rest of the set and is a perfect sort of companion piece to Volume 1. So that's the quick discography there. Here's the thing. Between, I guess, that Live at the Ryman or Acoustic at the Ryman and this one, they put out a handful of records that just weren't really for me. I don't know what it was. To me, they sort of got away a little bit from that sort of folkier, I don't know, indie background and went more to sort of like straight ahead alternative rock. What's funny is Mirage Rock that came out after Infinite Arms was actually produced by Glyn Johns. I'm not crazy about that record, nor the ones that came after it, but that's okay because I got a chance to see these guys several years ago, and live, they blew me away. So when they were coming around again, I had to go again. And let me tell you, I mean, I don't know what it is about these guys. They just put on a great show. Ben's just awesome. I mean, his voice is held up really well. Very, very high notes. Obviously, you can just tell how much sort of effort is going into those high notes. Again, kind of has that like scratchier type of, you know, folksy sort of voice, but it's held up really well. I mean, they blow me away when they play live. I will say, and you know, it's hardly a concert review because I'm not like, well, first they opened with this and then they played that. And then, no, I mean, they're playing a lot of like the bigger hits. I will say they encored, this is like the third or fourth show this year that like a band is encored with a cover song. And I'm like, okay, play whatever you want, right? I'm not going to tell a band what they should or shouldn't play. I'm just sitting there, I'm like, y'all got a million songs. Like, play one of your songs. Like, it's not like, you know, who's it, the Trogs? You know, they open up with Wild Thing, they close with Wild Thing, and they encore with Wild Thing. No, like, you got a whole bunch of songs. Play some songs. But, you know, they play the popular stuff from most of their records. You can tell, though, that they're still very focused heavily. The big fans, like myself, are really focused on those first three records that I talked about. And then they'll play maybe a handful from the latter three. But a lot of people are mostly focused on that, those first three. They killed it. They're amazing. And I will say this too, another fun purchase for the wall of memorabilia, posters, whatever, is I did get a tour poster. Please don't ask me what this artwork is about, what it represents, who it is it creepy? Totally, I don't really get it. But if you can tell there, it was signed by all the people. So that's kind of my my thing. If I'm at a show and it's a poster that's signed, I'll get it, probably. Or if it's a poster that is city specific, I will get it as well, like the Stones were doing, or like the Crying Bin that I showed a couple of weeks ago, all that type of stuff. So there's a little bit about Band of Horses. Check them out. If you're into, again, indie kind of singer-songwriter with the backing band, some folksier type of stuff, alternative rock, great harmonies, great songs, you might be into them. Again, where to start with it? If you're coming from that Americana side, I would start with Acoustic at the Ryman. If you're not quite twangy enough for that and you're unsure about it, I would start with any of the first three. They're all good. I will say my only complaint, and it's hardly a complaint, this is now 2 times in a row I've seen this band where my 2 favorite songs, they don't play. My 2 favorite songs in the whole catalog are Neighbor, which is coming from Infinite Arms. Love that song. And I Go to the Barn because I like the way it. That's the name of the song. It's off their first record, Everything All the Time. Love those songs. They've never played them. It's fine. I'm used to disappointment. They're just like everybody else in my life. But overall, an amazing show. Go see them if you can. Listen to this band. Check them out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you on the next one. Be good. Bye.